We've had a bevy of layoffs and reported store closings in the past 3 days, and these job losses are on all sorts of industries. In fact, there are so many that I'm limiting this report to only those that most of us will probably have heard of. So let's get into it. First, we've got IHOP. They're closing 100 or close to 100 locations. IHOP is closing restaurants as the breakfast chain struggles to win over customers during the pandemic. Dine Brands, the parent company of IHOP and Applebees, announced on Thursday that it is planning net closures of less than 100 locations. We're confident we will eventually replace these severely underperforming restaurants with better performing restaurants, IHOP President Jay Johns said on a call with investors on Wednesday. So they're putting a positive spin on it. Here they've got one person saying less than 100 locations, and then another representative says just under 100. I guess they don't want to admit that they're going to be at 100 or more. They also say that they're going to eliminate the poorly performing ones with better performing restaurants. What better performing restaurants, and where are they going to put them? It doesn't make sense. It looks like Guitar Center may be preparing to file for bankruptcy. Guitar Center may be America's largest instruments retailer, but that hasn't stopped its growing financial problems in 2020. The report further says that Guitar Center has reached out to creditors to discuss its options, which could involve filing for bankruptcy by the end of the year. If the company does so, Guitar Center hopes to recover financially in early 2021. Guitar Center has managed to avoid bankruptcy once already this year. Back in April, the retailer resolved a skipped interest payment that impacted its credit rating. According to the credit ratings agency Moody's, the transaction did not fundamentally change the company's untenable capital structure. However, it was the third cut in Guitar Center's credit rating this year. Prior to the illness, the retailer was reportedly doing well. According to New York Times, the company reported 10 consecutive quarters of sales growth until the end of February before the illness hit. Guitar Center, which had been around since 1959, has 300 stores nationwide. Guitar Center seems like the perfect kind of company to merge online. At this point in time, you go to a Guitar Center, you may or may not find the kind of guitar or musical instrument that you're looking for. Online, you can find what you want, the size you want, order it. If you're not happy, return it and get a different kind. So these kind of specialty shops are going to struggle, and they're going to struggle more as we continue. Remington Arms, oldest U.S. gunmaker, terminates 585 employees at birthplace. Almost 600 employees at the Remington Arms plant in Ilion were told Friday that they would be terminated effective Monday. Ilion, a small Herkimer County village of 8,000 people, is the birthplace of America's oldest gunmaker, which first started making guns there in 1816. So 8,000 people live in Ilion, and they are laying off 600 people. That is a big percentage. I mean, we're talking 7.5% of the population of Ilion are going to be terminated. So what do you think this is going to do to this small little village? It's going to decimate it. Not only are these 600 people not going to be earning a living, they're not going to be able to go to the restaurants. They're not going to be able to buy things at the retailers in that area. Raytheon will be laying off 20,000 people. Raytheon Technologies is cutting 15,000 staff and 4,000 contractor positions, largely at the company's Pratt & Whitney and Collins Aerospace divisions due to decreased commercial aerospace sales from the illness. The Waltham, Massachusetts aerospace giant is the latest company to announce losses since the illness has sent commercial aerospace companies reeling, costing them tens of jobs and millions in lost profits. Hayes projected the market segment wouldn't get a sharp rebound, but instead see a long, slow recovery over several years. We don't expect commercial air traffic to return to 2019 levels until at least 2023, and that's of course depending upon the timing of a widely distributed vaccine. In the near term, we expect a gradual recovery of commercial air traffic, particularly given the recent spike in global cases. As you know, we set aggressive targets in the first quarter to reduce costs by about $2 billion and to take actions to conserve about $4 billion in cash, making difficult but necessary actions to reduce headcount, Hayes said. These 19,000 job losses they list here is only the start of it. There are parts suppliers, there are pilots and mechanics that are not going to get as much work. Also, the CEO said he expected it to take until 2023 before air travel comes back to last year's levels. Well, the jobs are not going to come back right away. If their supply chain is disrupted and the research and development has been halted for 3 years, it is going to take time to get the ball rolling again and for the company to justify hiring more people. Layoffs hit Sony Pictures marketing, distribution, operations. Sony is the latest media company to make cuts due to the illness, joining the likes of Warner Media, Disney, and Universal. The public health crisis has upended film and television productions and brought theatrical distribution to a virtual standstill. Sony has delayed the release of upcoming blockbusters such as Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and Morbius, while selling the Tom Hanks drama Greyhound to Apple. Movie-going has plunged in popularity in the wake of the illness, but Sony has been looking to shake things up even before the illness upended the entertainment business. In an email to staff, Greenstein and Legoy positioned the changes as an opportunity to allow their teams to better respond to changing patterns of consumer behavior. The move also appears to signal that the walls between TV and film are crumbling as more and more entertainment is streamed in the home. Greenstein and Legoy said the changes will enable their operations to work more closely together going forward. Now, this is the second time I'm reporting about Wells Fargo layoffs, but this is a local news story out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte could be facing a big blow to the banking industry. Wells Fargo is expected to announce major layoffs across the board. Thousands across the entire company could get the pink slip, and bank insiders tell Fox 46 that some of those cuts could happen in the Queen City. More than 27,000 people in the Charlotte area work for Wells Fargo. It is the city's second largest employer. We are at the beginning of a multi-year effort to build a stronger, more efficient company and improve the experience for our customers, employees, communities, and shareholders. The work will consist of a broad range of near, medium, and long-term actions, including workforce reductions to bring our expenses more in line with our peers and create a company that is more nimble, streamlined, and customer-focused. As part of our efforts to strengthen the foundation of our company, we will have workforce reductions in most geographies across our footprint and nearly all of our business lines and functions, and expect to reduce the size of our workforce through a combination of attrition, the elimination of open roles, and job displacements. We are executing this work in a thoughtful and deliberate manner, and we will communicate openly and honestly with impacted employees and provide severance, career assistance, and other services to assist them. Did you hear all of the buzzwords in that article? It says taking care of shareholders, being nimble, workforce reductions, more efficient. They're all buzzwords for going online, being more app-based. Boeing is back in the news. They will be cutting another 11,000 workers. Their revenue dropped from $20 billion in the third quarter of last year to just $14 billion this year. We've been seeing a lot of layoffs in the Major League Baseball. Here's the Cleveland Indians planning on layoffs. And then here's the Houston Astros planning layoffs. Here's another restaurant chain filing for bankruptcy, Rubio's. The parent company of Carlsbad-based restaurant chain Rubio's Coastal Grill filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection Monday. As part of a restructuring plan the company says will help strengthen its financial standing. Official from Rubio's Restaurants said in a news release it has reached agreements with Mill Road Capital and its lenders to recapitalize the company. The plan allows Rubio's to cut down some of its debt and transfer ownership to its lenders, opening up additional resources to support its restaurants in California, Arizona, and Nevada. 26 locations permanently closed this year, with the company citing unforeseen business circumstances of the illness. Operations at 150 restaurants, including those in California, will continue as usual, according to the company. In a statement, Rubio's president and CEO Mark Simon said the company had a strong financial position entering 2020, which helped in navigating the unprecedented impact of the illness. All of these companies are blaming the pandemic, and though the pandemic has caused them to lose a ton of business, remember, these companies were in a ton of debt, and that's why they were filing for bankruptcy. If they had to take on a ton of debt prior to the pandemic, what makes you think they can survive in the upcoming recession? Obviously, the only way these companies can survive is if interest rates continue to be artificially suppressed and they are able to take out more loans.